Welcome everyone to Koinu Yen Review channel. Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share so more people can discover us. Enjoy the show. I scrolled through the trending topics on the Underworld's newsfeed. I watched stunned as Jing Hao handed over a villa to Baijiru. Jing Hao the bold one. The reason was simply that he got drunk and played a wild game of truth or dare on a live stream. A fan jokingly refused, suggesting he buy each of us a house instead. It was meant as a playful jest, like being her informant. No one could have imagined this billionaire actress actually paused to consider it. Even less expected was that overnight, the crumbling building across from my home transformed into an informant's neighborhood. The internet erupted in a frenzy celebrating free villas. Only I knew this wasn't just fan welfare. It was clearly aimed at me, her resurrected ex. The golden heiress. Drunk, she started a live stream playing truth or dare. He confessed his deepest resentment that year he bought a house across from mine, just to see who I'd end up marrying. Fans in the comments went wild, calling her sister. Why not buy us all a house, they teased. That way the whole neighborhood could be her eyes. The next day, the standalone villa across from my home was suddenly filled with new residents overnight. Jingyo Gifts Villas. Jinga Splashish. Jinga Hey it tease from. These hashtags instantly set the internet ablaze. A half-hour live stream clip was shared millions of times. Baijiru, the youngest actress to claim the crown, the only daughter of the Bai family from the capital. Aside from acting, she never engaged with the public. This aloof and touchable lady broke her silence last night, playing games with fans online. Truth or dare. Her drunken eyes, tinged with a hint of charm, made her seem even more bitter. A bold fan suddenly asked Miss Bai, 3 years ago you were welcomed back to the Bai family. Why did you choose to keep struggling in the entertainment world? This question had long puzzled the industry. After all, this billionaire heiress always took on low-paying roles with fervor. When reporters praised her pure love for acting, she denied it outright. As the question hung in the air, she fell silent as expected. Just when everyone thought she wouldn't answer, I suddenly heard her low, elegant voice. Because in her eyes there was only that superstar. Her unexpected, earth-shattering reply. In that fleeting moment, fans and netizens exploded. Wait, who is she talking about? Was she staying in the industry for him all along? Was this her first love, her boyfriend, or just someone she admired? Baijiru didn't respond until truth or dare circled back to her. This time the fans grew bolder. Sister, what's the craziest thing you've ever done? Baijiru lowered her gaze and said it was because she hated him, so she bought a house across from mine, just to see who I'd end up marrying. Netizens gasped, not just buying something random. Such an extravagant move. Was it real hate or fake? I could tell the difference. My god, that's wild. It's almost unimaginable. Was this still the aloof Baijiru I knew? Miss Bai, are you into tarot? 6,550. Let me check the fate between you two. The next second, Baijiru opened a fan's private message and sent their bank details. I'm transferring you 50,000, I heard her say. Help me see how Hei's been doing lately. Was this for real? The fans lost it. One absurd comment stood out. Sister, forget tarot. Why not buy us all a house? That way the whole neighborhood could be your spies. By some twist of fate, Baijiru saw it and paused to think. Then things spiraled out of control. In the end, a few lucky fans who received standalone villas couldn't hold back their tears of joy. Thank you, country. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you, Miss Bai. The houses were massive. The decor was stunning, furnished with every amenity imaginable. Other netizens were stunned. Wait, free villas? Such an obscure event. How was I not invited to this? I was so mad I rolled over in bed. The charging cable wasn't long enough, so I rolled back. Then I ordered a cup of coffee at full price. The expense left me unrecognizable. The success of those netizens made me grind my teeth. I had no idea about this sudden windfall. Netizens buzzed about Baijiru's lavish spending while gifting villas. Speculation about who she hated climbed the trending charts. As fans and netizens tried to snoop around the neighborhood, they were shocked to learn the building across had been condemned as unsafe 3 years ago. No one had lived there since. If no one was there, why did Miss Bai buy a house there? The logic of the rich was beyond comprehension. Could it be fake? Just an excuse to shower fans with gifts. Whatever. True or false, it didn't matter to me. As long as my free villa was real. Hey, finally I could film in a big house. I don't need much money. Just a lot of love. Meanwhile, I was in my 30 square meter cubicle, clutching myself, trembling all over. Could someone explain why? I woke up from my 500 square meter underworld villa. Back in my old home, I pulled back the curtains. The prime real estate across the street had filled with people overnight. It felt like a sudden trap set for me. This was probably Baijiru's way of getting back at me. After all, 3 years ago, I treated her so cruelly. With her vengeful nature, if she found me, I'd be in deep trouble. I patted my chest, reassuring myself, thank goodness. I'm already dead. Lin Mo, a terminally ill heart patient. On the brink of death, I somehow bound myself to a strategy system. It gave me a chance to extend my life by 3 years. The system pointed at a girl in a rundown building ready to jump. I'm sorry for dragging you into this game, it said. Due to our staff's miscalculations and absence, the plot's progress is urgent. We had to find a new candidate. Please host reform and redeem the heroine Baijiru. Then cruelly dump her. Become the toxic ex who fuels her transformation. Toying with someone's feelings. I was about to refuse, but the next second the system deposited $1 million into my account. Mr. Lin Mo, it said, this is the down payment. Complete the task and we'll give you 10 million and cure your illness. One immediately apologized. Watching a woman die wasn't something I could do. From then on, I embarked on a 3-year journey to win her over. Baijiru was cold and unapproachable. It took immense effort to become her boyfriend, but then the original strategist returned. My efforts crumbled and I failed the mission. I was forcibly logged out. To compensate me, the system gave me a hefty sum. When I was pulled back to reality, I was still sleeping in the underworld. I demanded, system, what's going on? Why am I back? The system's bitter voice rang out. I'm sorry for recalling you, Mr. Lin Mo, but we're out of options. In these 3 years, we lost 99 strategists. None could even manage 3 sentences with her. They were all eliminated. The strategy department is running out of takers before the new strategist arrives. We hope you, Mr. Lin Mo, can assist and share some strategy tips. I was busy and didn't want to agree, but the offer was too generous. Staring at those endless zeros, I nodded shamefully. The new strategist was Lang Wuji. When I met him, he was complaining to the system. I told you I don't need any help. I'm a 100 successful strategist. No woman can resist falling for me. I sighed quietly to myself, but good looks were the least effective on Baijiru. The system chose me initially, largely because of my face. They held their breath, eagerly waiting. Anyone who locks eyes with you will fall in love. In reality, the first time I met Baijiru, she shut me out. She sneered at me. Who sent you here? What do you want? In that rundown building, facing the girl on the rooftop, our eyes locked. My heart pounded with nerves. I actually knew her. The eccentric school tyrant Baijiru, who didn't know her. Rumor had it she pulled the plug on her foster parents' oxygen. Everyone at school steered clear of her. Her cold, dark eyes stared at me. I felt my heart condition flaring up. I quickly grabbed her waist, blurting out, Baijiru, you like me, so don't die. I was too nervous. What was I even saying? The air seemed to freeze. Her eyelashes fluttered and she pushed me away. How could I possibly? I couldn't let go. If she died, I'd die too. Without a word, I held her tighter, my head pressed against her, clinging like a stubborn bandage. Baijiru couldn't end her life. All I got was her frantic push and a retreating figure. I don't like you, get lost. It was just a slip of the tongue. Did she have to react so strongly? My thoughts drifted back and I sighed. Even after all my scheming to become Baijiru's boyfriend, I always had to take the lead in that department. Lang Wuji entered as Baijiru's fiancé. After she was reclaimed by the Bai family, he was tied to the Lang family through an old betrothal. He was indeed a skilled strategist, At their first meeting, he was witty and composed. His fluttering eyes were like a doll's. 3 years later, this was my first time seeing Baizhiru since the Underworld's mall screen. Still cold and stunning, sitting there like a magazine cover. I knew it. From the moment I saw Baizhiru, I thought she was destined to be a superstar. Lang Wuji tried many topics, but she remained uninterested. Sensing the awkwardness, I suggested why not talk about dogs. Baizhiru loved dogs, didn't she? Really? Does she actually like Lang Wuji? I hesitated. She didn't seem like someone who liked small animals. Forget it, I sent my gaze drifting. Memories of those shameless days flooded back. Back then, Baizhiru was stubborn, hellbent on ending it all. I couldn't talk her out of it, so I resorted to drugging her, treating her almost like a pet. Obedient, a slap. Disobedient, another slap. During our passionate moments, I'd pat her belly, tears streaming. Wa Baizhiru, I'd say. I'm telling you, the condoms I used, I poked holes in them, and now I might be carrying your child. If you die now, you're abandoning your family. You ungrateful woman, you'll go to hell. She froze, staring at me for a long moment. Finally, she gritted her teeth and sighed, leaning down to kiss away my tears. Lin Mo, you'll be the death of me. But strangely, after that day, Baizhiru stopped trying to end her life. It proved she was still intrigued by dogs. She even knocked over a glass in excitement. But what chilled me was that when the topic came up, her gaze inexplicably turned toward me, then slowly narrowed with intent. Back when she made that move, it usually meant I'd mess up. The next day, I'd be bedridden. Now I instinctively tensed. Swallowing hard, I told myself to relax. Lin Mo, don't be scared. You're already dead. Baizhiru couldn't see me, I reassured myself. Lang Wuji, however, was thrilled. On his first attempt, he got Baizhiru to call him Wuji. A storm raged outside. There was a guest room in the house. Mr. Lang, you can stay if you need, she offered. Haha, system, he boasted. What's level difficulty, woman? She hasn't met me yet. One move and she's mine. While she was showering, Lang Wuji picked up a pair of seductive sleep pants. Extreme weather. Middle of the night. A lone man and woman, what was bound to happen was obvious. The system urged me to leave. I don't need him, Lang Wuji said. With that woman, I always had to make the first move. But with others, she's the one who pounces. I was so annoyed. I yanked open the fridge to cool off, only to find it still stocked with tiramisu. I had a sweet tooth. Back when I was with Baizhiru, she often mocked me for this obsession. Baizhiru hated tiramisu. I loved kissing her after eating cake to get back at her for the night before. But now, as I took a bite, Lang Wuji screamed, "What are you doing? Don't touch that stuff." The previous 56 strategists were eliminated for touching those cakes in her house. But it was too late. As I grabbed the cake, Baizhiru was on the second floor. Looking down, Lang Wuji glared at me. You've ruined me. The next second, a beep sounded. Wuji, don't eat too much. You'll get a toothache. Then she turned back to her room, leaving Lang Wuji muttering, my god. System, she called me. Wujish's already fallen for me. Even knows about my toothaches. This is the most incredible heroine I've met. I'm taking her down tonight. I stared at my floating toes, dazed. I remember during our deepest moments, she'd nibble my ear calling me Momo. That night I drifted into her study. Back then her study was off limits. She never let me in. Now that I was a ghost, I had to snoop around. But as I pushed open the door, I froze. The study was covered in photos of me. My scalp tingled. Baizhiru truly hated me. She despised betrayal most of all. Yet when she was newly reclaimed by the Bai family, at her most vulnerable, I sent her photos of me in bed with someone else, driving her to leave without warning. On the central desk lay a diary. I leaned in to look. The date was exactly 3 years ago today. My family isn't kind. I miss him so much. I like him so much. He'd follow me everywhere. But he's so foolish. He sent me photos with another man and didn't even answer my calls. Tomorrow I'm flying back to find him. I froze. This was Baizhiru's diary. Even after seeing those photos, she still wanted to come back for me. I guiltily touched my nose. The wind howled outside, flipping open the tear-stained plot listing next page. And envy, I kept crying. It was Lin Mo who left without a word. When we meet again, I'll knock him out. My eyelids twitched. I stumbled back, only to crash into a warm embrace. Her chest was hot. The scent of orange blossom, my favorite, enveloped me. 3 years ago, I loved warming my hands on her, teasing her flushed, shy face. Back then, Baijiru was pure yet fierce. Now wasn't the time for nostalgia. I'd heard after my death, Baijiru nearly tore the city apart looking for me. Our eyes locked. As a soul, I felt like a deer in headlights. Instinctively, I covered my eyes, muttering, "You can't see me, you can't see me." But the next second, her low, elegant voice echoed in the study. "Where did you go?" I pretended not to hear. Playing deaf and dumb. Lin Mo, could Baijiru see me? My heart leapt to my throat. I frantically called the system, but no response came. I braced myself to look up when a pear blossom darted from under the desk. She scooped it into her arms, finally decided to show up. Her voice was like a sigh. "You're so cruel." Cruel? I looked up, stunned. She was stroking the cat. So she was talking to it. False alarm. I let out a breath, but then realized something else. Why was this little guy named after me? Lin Mo, meeting Lin Mo, big eyes on small. The kitten kept meowing in my direction. Was it in pain? My eyes welled up. "I'm sorry, little kitty. Baijiru named you after me. She must bully you every day. You've suffered. Big brother will get you lots of treats and fish." My namesake, the foolish cat. It couldn't understand me, yet I faintly heard a soft laugh fleeting. When I looked up, Baijiru was as cold and calm as ever. Lightning flashed outside. Our eyes met. Her lips seemed to move. Suddenly, Lang Wuji in gray sleep pants burst in. "Miss Bai, are you there?" The thunder's so loud. He stood barefoot on the floor, eyes red. I had a nightmare. I'm so scared. The best hunters always pose as prey, fragile and beautiful. A rocket-powered durian. Lang Wuji's face had won over countless women, but Baijiru wasn't ordinary. Faced with a stunning man, she didn't even blink. Ichigo Shore. Thunder won't strike you. Lang Wuji's smile froze. I sighed nearby. I'd told him that act was useless. 3 years ago, I'd already maxed out the delicate role. During thunderstorms, I'd burrow into her arms. Watching horror movies, I'd hold her hand. Acting tough, I'd blink back tears. All to set up my bad guy breakup. I used every trick in the book. So ever since I hurt her, she became immune to that type of man. Completely oblivious to flirtation. But Lang Wuji never knew the word quit. If soft tactics failed, he'd go hard. He was sure one night with her would win her over. When he crept into her room that night, he found only an empty bed. Meanwhile, the first stared at the woman who'd suddenly appeared in my covers. Dumbfounded, Baijiru had severe sleepwalk. When she sleepwalked, she was nothing like her distant daytime self, clinging to me with kisses and hugs. Back when I followed her to sets, I worried she'd scare other actors like this. But I soon realized I was overthinking, because Baijiru only sleepwalked to me. As absurd as it was, even as a ghost, her sleepwalking self could still pinpoint me. With one roll, she locked me in her arms. Strangely, her grip made it impossible for me to break free. Fine, she couldn't see me anyway. I couldn't help but stare at her exquisite face. Sighing 3 years apart, her lips still looked as kissable as ever. She seemed unapproachable, but her lips were soft. One kiss and shed blush. Lost in the moment, I leaned against her and drifted into a deep sleep. That night I dreamt again of 3 years ago. I was pinned in a dark alley, kissed fiercely with a wild intensity. In the quiet night, she gasped softly. My ears buzzed. Our breaths intertwined so heated it made me flush. As I neared suffocation, I met her calm yet dangerous eyes. "Momo, if you dare mention dumping me and running off with the money again," she warned, "the punishment won't just be a kiss." Back then my eyes brimmed with tears. I felt wrong. How could Baijiru know? I'd only ever said that to the system. The next morning I woke to find Baijiru gone from the room. I stood staring at the mirror in a daze. It was just a dream. So why were my lips actually swollen? Lang Wuji was also troubled. Photos of him staying over at Baijiru's place had shot to the top of the trending charts. In the entertainment world, he was a somewhat popular dancer. When netizens dug it up, they went wild. Oh no, it's our Wuji. Is Wuji the male lead in the vlog gifting saga? My god, I'm parched. Lang Wuji used to live here during his school days. They must have met back then. The aloof actress and the ballet prince with a love story. Has no one noticed Baijiru's gaze? It's practically dripping with affection, hugging the cat in Reborn. Blessings for 99 years. Can we have another vlog gifting event? Baijiru's gaze. I stared at the pixelated photo, lost in thought. She looked at the dog with such tenderness. What truly sent netizens into a frenzy was Baijiru herself. Early that morning, she posted on Weibo, breaking all precedents. She shared a photo of a sleeping pear blossom cat. This was her first personal post in 3 years aside from promotional work. Fans and netizens were beside themselves with excitement. Oh my god, who doesn't know Wuji is a cat lover? This is basically a public declaration. Even the savviest artists were clamoring. We want to see you to reconcile. Can you go on a show together? Let fans see you share the stage. Lang Wuji eagerly agreed. The system screamed, no you can't. The 60th strategist was eliminated for trying to pair up with her on a show. Baijiru had 3 rules: no intimate roles, no variety shows, no manufactured chemistry. So what? Lang Wuji scoffed last night. She rejected me. It's just her playing hard to get. Have you ever seen her make breakfast for anyone? I woke up to find Shed prepared it for me. The next moment he muttered in frustration, but it's just my luck. Why did it have to be a sickly sweet chocolate sandwich? I'm allergic to chocolate. He glanced at me standing nearby, eyeing the food. His tone was odd. Perfect, you take care of it. Don't let her find out. I've never seen someone so obsessed with sweets. Or anyone make sweets for breakfast. What are you two muttering about? I immediately floated over and took a big bite. My eyes squinted in bliss. It tasted exactly like it did 3 years ago. As it turned out, the system's warning didn't come to pass. Lang Wuji had just received an invite for a show, and Baijiru signed on for the same episode. Hello! Secret Room was a horror escape room live variety show, inviting guests to solve puzzles and escape various. My task was to seize opportunities to aid Lang Wuji's strategy. Before this show started, I warned Lang Wuji Baijiru is terrified of the dark. She can never sleep alone at night. She always needs someone with her. So when the lights go out, take your chance to hold her. Create some contact. Lang Wuji nodded. But the moment the lights went out in the room, while other guests screamed in chaos, only Baijiru calmly searched for clues. I was stunned. I remembered her old room's lights always failed. She'd often be too scared to sleep and end up in the living room. The next day, she'd film with dark circles under her eyes. I felt sorry for her exhausted face, so I gave her my room's key, telling her to find me when she was scared. From that day on, every night before bed, a pitiful figure would crouch at my door. How could Baijiru not fear the dark? I didn't believe it. I floated over and blew out the only candle in her hand. Her eyelashes trembled. I quickly signaled Lang Wuji, but as he reached for her, she sidestepped. There's something here, she said. Lang Wuji missed his mark. I scratched my head awkwardly. No worries. There's still time. I've got plenty of strength and tricks. This episode's theme was Chinese horror. Guests were split into separate rooms, searching for a bride's dowry. While Lang Wuji hunted for red embroidered shoes, he triggered an NPC. Cornered by it, he was so scared his eyes welled up. The live stream's comments exploded. Oh my god. In his most dangerous moment, Wuji called for Baijiru. Who dares say our ship isn't real? Don't be scared, Wuji. Baijiru's in the next room. With her smarts, she'll crack the code soon. She'll save you. Yes, 3 years ago, Baijiru got hooked on escape rooms. In 3 years, she'd tackled 1,000 of them. 1,000, I was floored. Time really was a terrifying thing. After all, it used to be me whining and acting cute, begging Baijiru to play with me. Everyone expected her to swoop in and save the day. But haven't our past Bai Jiru completely ignored the obvious clue in front of her. Instead, she fiddled with a non-essential prop. Bai Jiru, what are you doing? I anxiously hovered behind her, blowing on her ear to urge her. This wasn't right. We've played this before. Look up at the picture frame. I was frantic. She couldn't hear me. I pinched her ear. No reaction. Until I couldn't take it and bit her neck. She finally moved, turning her head suddenly. Her cool lips brushed my cheek. A fleeting moment. I froze as she licked her lips. Reaching for the frame, she murmured. The clue was here all along. I was puzzled by her puzzle solving. She fell silent again, lost in thought, fiddling with her ring. Another half hour passed. Lang Wuji next door was already cursing the system. The system whimpered, urging me. Think of a way to fire her up. Fire her up, huh? With the situation dire, I gritted my teeth, instinctively cupped her face, and kissed her hard. Bai Jiru, please. Everyone's watching. Can you get serious? This was how I used to motivate her. It worked every time. Her eyes lowered. Our gazes locked. My heart inexplicably trembled. Logically, she shouldn't hear or feel me. Yet she moved, even if slowly. She perfectly solved the puzzle. By the time she cleared the stage to save the day, Lang Wuji had already broken out of his room. Facing her from afar, he pressed his philtrum. System, what's going on? Didn't the data say she went to Tsinghu? With that brain, waiting for her to save me, I'd be chatting with the NPC at my grandma's house. The next stage was a two-person mission. No surprise! Lang Wuji and Bai Jiru were paired again, searching for a missing bride. The indoor AC was freezing. Lang Wuji shivered. Bai Jiru swiftly took off her jacket and handed it to him. One tall, one short, their silhouettes together. The live comments went wild. Oh my god. The camera caught it all. Bai Jiru seems focused on him, but her attention's all on our Wuji baby. So doting. The moment her husband shivered, she whipped off her jacket, afraid to be a second late. Wasn't Bai Jiru the first to enter? Admit it. She's so in love, couldn't bear her husband getting spooked by NPCs. I have to say, the fans' analysis skills caught every detail. I pondered, ready to give things another nudge. With a wave, the overhead light flickered on and off, forcing darkness into the space. Seeing Lang Wuji's signal, I pushed him toward Bai Jiru's arms. But as he stumbled forward, she turned, pinning me to the wall instead. Our breaths mingled. I heard her calm voice. There's a spider on the wall. A spider. I jumped. Clinging to her, I yelped, where? Get it away. She blinked, coaxing me. My mistake, how odd. Since when was Bai Jiru nearsighted? No matter how carefully I schemed after that, she dodged every sweet trap I set. Like she had eyes in the back of her head. I began to wonder, and reached a terrifying conclusion. I suspected she could see me. The system immediately denied it. No, impossible. How could she see you? You're overthinking. The live comments were ecstatic. Oh my god. A real woman never takes advantage of her husband. Love is wanting to touch but pulling back. Look. Alone in a room, Bai Jiru shyly turned away, even muttering to herself, ha ha ha, she must be charmed by her husband. Thinking, how is my husband so adorable? Lang Wuji's ignored heart flared back to life. He eagerly asked the system. The system lifeless responded. Sadly, still no progress. Those sweet moments the fans mentioned. Data shows she was staring at you. Probably because your voice was too loud. She's got a cleanliness obsession. She took off her jacket because it got blood on it. She scouted ahead, purely to avoid being chased by NPCs. Lang Wuji, still in her light suit, was speechless. The next second, he smiled and blinked. System, if I eliminate her first, my strategy record stays 100, right? Is this the secret to a 100 strategist's success? What kind of villainy was this? I gasped. Wuji, don't be rash. Let's talk this out. You can check my notes again. Talk about bad timing. At the mention, Lang Wuji rolled his eyes. Notes. Lin Mo, are you sure these are strategy notes to help me? And not some prank. He tossed the notebook at me. Look at what's inside. I'd spent 3 years compiling those notes, detailing all of Bai Jiru's habits and preferences. Before leaving that world, I passed them to the next strategist, hoping to help them understand her better. But I never imagined flipping it open. The unspec pages were completely blank. Nothing was there. How was this possible? I was stunned. No, there had to be something. Lang Wuji stared at me, flipping to the last page. Your name's here. Lin Mo. Answer me, is this by Jairus' handwriting? Her strategy notes had turned into my name. I understood his implication. He suspected she still harbored feelings for me, but she couldn't possibly still like me. After a long silence, I swallowed the bitterness, glancing at the woman in the corner. Before I left, I hurt her deeply. I still remember. That day the original strategist had returned. I was about to be forcibly removed from the world. Before leaving, I cut all ties, saying every cruel word I could, humiliating her to the extreme. Let's break up, I'm done. You can't give me the love I want. Baijiru, you're terrible in bed. I was faking it all along. I didn't believe she'd still care for me after that. She should move on, start a new life. Lang Wuji took a deep breath, fine, and pulling out the big guns. Once I win her over, it'll take her luck and move to the next world. Luck? I was dumbfounded, but Lang Wuji said matter-of-factly, of course. I'm not sticking around with her forever. Women only slow my perfect success rate, steal her luck. And what happens to her? He grinned wider. She'll die, obviously. Don't worry, she won't get to retaliate. The escape room neared its end. The final stage was to complete a ghost marriage plot. Lang Wuji and Baijiru, as descendants of the story's protagonists, had to reenact the original scene, tying their hair, bowing in ceremony, passing the test. To unlock the final code, red candles flickered, the room draped in red silk. Baijiru sat in the sedan surrounded by cheers. The story was set in the Republic era, amid war and chaos. A wife died on the road home. Tragically, just one day before their new life was to begin, her husband was devastated, washing his face with tears. He insisted on holding the wedding a ghost marriage, to join his wife in death. It was too bitter. They were so close to a good life. A ghostly companion wiped tears on the wall. Suddenly from another room, Lang Wuji called Lin Mo. This coffin's too dark. Get in here and take my place. Before I could react, he grabbed me, merging into my body, and stuffed me into the coffin. In pitch black darkness, only faint light seeped through as the ceremony continued outside. Baijiru in her sedan was to marry her groom. For the first time in ages, I felt my heart pounding wildly in my chest. I remembered when Baijiru wasn't famous yet. I teased that she was the woman the world would want to marry. Her fans would take over the globe. In our tiny apartment, we dreamed of the future, kissing, sleeping, forgetting everything else. Later, she became a superstar. Her fans did take over the world, but I was stuck in the underworld's vast emptiness. Baijiru carried on calmly. Through the plot, her eyes lowered. As a distracted groom during the ceremony, she kept looking around, searching for something, hesitating to lift the coffin lid. I couldn't help but kick the coffin board. Furious, I shouted, Baijiru, open it or I'll suffocate. It was quiet, but she heard me and froze. Then trembling, she lifted the lid. I'm here to join you, she said as scripted. She calmly lay down, softly repeating. The live comments went wild. Oh, Baijiru's acting is unreal. It's like her lover really died. That sense of barely holding on in despair. Who gets it? Lang Wuji's voice brought redemption. The moment he spoke, it was like Baijiru's soul snapped back. The plot pressed on. The husband insisted on a ghost marriage, cutting his wrist to summon his wife's soul, offering quiet wedding candles. The wife's NPC covered her eyes in pain. So what are you doing? Who asked you to die with me? I worked so hard to save you. Was it all for nothing? I'm living just fine down here. Who needs you to join me? You left. Who's burning paper, money, villas, and handsome men for me? I arranged everything for you. I sent you dreams about a happy life. You're the warlord's neighbor's zombie kid. You're so smart, you'll be happy. As your lady, I stopped loving you long ago. I'll be honest. I'm done with the hard life. I died on my way to my lover. You coming here changes nothing. Those lines made my nose sting. Everyone else fell silent. After all those years of hardship, Just when things were looking up, she suddenly spoke of parting ways. Without you, I won't be happy. Lin Mo, I miss you so much. Her words stunned everyone. The live comments froze. Because those words weren't from the script. They came from the woman beside the coffin. Turning to me, her scolding tears pierced my heart. In that moment, I was certain Baijiru could see me. After that day, I was forcibly dragged back to the underworld. I started sleeping poorly again, crying my eyes out like when I first died, from start to finish. My approach to her was a scam, just to live a little longer. After I left without a word, I learned Baijiru was doing terribly, nearly dying several times. The system said it was fixed plot, but I still couldn't let it go, lingering in the underworld for 3 years, refusing to reincarnate. Baijiru, that fool, was tricked so badly, yet she still dared to love me, sobbing loudly, apologizing over and over. One side was a spiraling heroine, the other a spiraling original strategist. The system fed up couldn't take it. It forced memory-erasing potions on us both. Finally, the world went quiet. Baijiru's side story, the 3rd year of Lin Month's disappearance. I still refused to believe he was gone. As long as strategists kept showing up, had surely come back to me. As the main world sent fewer strategists, that thing called the system grew more frantic. My Lin Mo was getting closer. 10:30, 16:99. Until that strategist named Lang Wuji appeared, I finally heard that familiar voice again. Why not talk about dogs? Baijiru loves dogs. He chattered on, his smile still like the sun. I stared at the figure in the air. My excitement knocked over a glass. I'd imagined that when I saw Lin Mo again, I'd lock him up tightly, trap him so he'd never leave me. I hated him for leaving without a word. I hated how heartless he was. But when I truly saw him, I only wanted to hold him. Lin Mo, why did you lose so much weight? How's life in the underworld? Did you get the villas and paper money I burned? Have you made good friends? Why haven't you sent me a single dream? I could hear the system and strategists' talks, from start to finish. I knew the motives of everyone who approached me, but with him I willingly let myself be fooled. All my hate boiled down to hating myself for not being captivating enough to hold his heart. At the story's end, Lin Mo still had to complete his legend of 100 successful strategies. Until his 101st grand move failed, villains have their ways. He sharpened his knife, heading for Baijiru's room, only to find it empty again. In the end, he found her in Lin Month's room. Even after drinking the memory-erasing potion, she was still lost in longing. What a hopeless case. How could he strategize like this? With no other choice. To maintain his success rate, he had to threaten the system to bring back the strategist named Lin Mo from the underworld. But this time the strategy's term was for a lifetime.